Give thanks to the Lord.
Give thanks to the Lord.
For he is good.
For he is good.
For his steadfast love.
For his steadfast love
endures forever.
endures forever.
Psalm 136, 1.
Psalm 136, 1.
To the God of gods, his love endures forever. Give thanks to the Lord of lords, his love endures forever. To him who alone does great wonders, his love endures forever. Whoa, whoa, oh, whoa, whoa, oh, his love endures forever. Whoa, whoa, oh, whoa, whoa, oh, his love endures, his love endures. Give thanks to the God of gods, his love endures forever. Give thanks to the Lord of lords, his love endures forever. To him who alone does great wonders, his love endures forever. Whoa, whoa, oh, whoa, whoa, oh, his love endures forever.
Hey, Northbrook kids! Happy Sunday! I am so excited to talk to you guys today because we are going to talk about one of my favorite things. Can you guess what it is? I am going to give you some hints. So, the thing that I'm thinking of, it's somewhere that we go on Sunday. Right now we do it in a park. Sometimes we think of it as a building that we go to, but really it's just a group of people. And it's where people who are different, but who all love Jesus, come together to pray, to read the Bible, to worship God. Do you know what I'm talking about? The church. Yes, I am so excited that we get to talk about church today. And specifically, we're going to talk about the church when Jesus left and his disciples came together and they formed the church. And that's what we have today. We are disciples of the disciples who worship Jesus. And how are we disciples? Well, the people who followed Jesus, they told their friends, who told their friends, who told their friends, who told their friends about Jesus and how Jesus came to save sinners. Do you guys remember last week? Mr. Mark and Mr. Christine taught us that Jesus came to save sinners. And so this message kept going and going and going. And then here we are. We are the church. And we are disciples of Jesus or followers of Jesus, and we gather together and we get to work together, pray together, we serve together, and then we go out and we share with others together who Jesus is, that we would bring more friends into the church, and more importantly, that they would believe that Jesus came to save sinners just like them, and that they would be with Jesus forever in heaven. Isn't that the best? I love church. I love getting to be with my friends who love Jesus. And I love getting to share that news with other people too. So I'm excited for today's lesson. We are going to go ahead and jump in. You may be wondering, why is Miss Maddie in front of a map this week? Well, this map helps me remember that there are many different Christians, people who love Jesus, who are all around the world. Now, this little area, if I can point to it correctly, around here, this is where the first disciples started meeting as a church. So Jesus, if you remember, he died on a cross. He rose from the grave, and then he saw his disciples and told them to share this news to the rest of the world. And then he went back to heaven. And when they were in this area, they began telling people about Jesus, and the church spread all over the whole world. And so we're over here right now, and we know about Jesus because the people over here told people over here and here and here and here and here. They told people about Jesus. And so it reminds me to pray for people who are still here and here and here and here that don't know Jesus. And so the church is meant to spread throughout the world until Jesus would come back again. So the whole lesson today is that God is good. He's so good to us in giving us the church. He helps his children love and trust Jesus. And did you know that everyone who loves and trusts Jesus is a part of the church? You may have a friend that goes to another church. They may not go to Northbrook. Maybe they go to the village church or another church. They are still a part of the big capital C church. Anybody who loves and trusts in him is a part of it. And the church began when one of Jesus' friends told people that Jesus came to save sinners. God helped people believe. And the church, they spend time together. The church learns about God and the Bible together. The church tells and shows God that they love him. They sing, it's called worship, and they pray and they obey God to show him that they love him. And the church, just like we saw on this map, tells other people about Jesus. So God created the church for us to be together, to help each other, and to tell others about Jesus. So we're going to go ahead and read a little bit in Acts 2. And we're going to see the church who, when Jesus left, came together and how they loved each other, how they obeyed God. Acts 2 tells us a lot about how God is so good in giving us the church. So I'm going to show you a picture from the Jesus Storybook Bible, but I want you, if you have the Jesus Storybook Bible, to read this with your mom and dad tonight. So this is the story about the church and when the church began, and it's called God Sends Help, and it's on page 326. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read an actual passage from Acts chapter 2, and it's verses 42 to 47. So here's Peter. He's telling everybody about Jesus. And then once he tells many people about Jesus, people begin gathering. And so this is what Acts 2, 42 through 47 says about the people who were gathering as the church. And they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and the prayers. And awe came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were being done through the apostles. And all who believed were together, and they had all things in common. And they were selling their possessions and belongings, and distributed the proceeds to all as any had need. And day by day, attending the temple, together and breaking bread in their homes, they received their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to their number, day by day, those who were being saved. Isn't that awesome? God brought people together and they shared their lives together. They would share their food, they would share their belongings, they would pray with each other and obey God. They would listen to God's teaching. And God kept adding more and more people who began to believe that Jesus came to save sinners. God is so good. This is good news. So I hope this week, maybe at school or with your siblings or with some friends, you can be thinking about ways that you can share how Jesus came to save sinners. Maybe it's just telling your friend that, hey, did you know that Jesus came to save sinners? Yeah, go ahead and try that. I hope you have a great week too. Bye.